I'm not proud of how it all went down. I don't think you'll be impressed with me by the end. But if you've ever been betrayed so deep it feels like someone cracked your ribs open with their bare hands, maybe you'll understand. Name's Mike. I'm 28. Been with my girlfriend, Lacey, for almost 4 years. Best friend's name is Connor. We met freshman year of college, stayed tight ever since. Like, best man at my wedding tight. Or, at least, that's what I thought. Lacey and I were good. Or maybe I was just good at believing we were. She laughed at my dumb jokes. She wore my hoodies around the house. She texted me I love you without a reason sometimes, just because. Connor was a permanent fixture too. Friday nights at our apartment, pizza and beer, the three of us screaming at the TV during football games. I never once thought twice about it. Never caught a weird glance. Never saw anything that made my stomach flip. Not until 2 months ago. It started small. I got home early from work one Wednesday, walked into the kitchen, and there they were, Connor and Lacey, standing just a little too close. Laughing a little too hard. She brushed his arm and it was nothing, but it lit a match in my head that wouldn't go out. I told myself to let it go. I wasn't gonna be that guy, paranoid and pathetic. I cracked a beer and sat down with them, tried to wash down the sour taste crawling up my throat. But once you notice something's off, you can't unsee it. Suddenly it was Connor texting her memes. Inside jokes that didn't include me. Her laughing a little too long at his stupid impressions. Him showing up even when I wasn't home. I kept shoving the thoughts down, deeper and deeper, until the night I found the receipt. It was sitting on the counter like a slap in the face. 2 entrees, 1 bottle of wine, a single dessert. A dinner for 2. From a restaurant way too fancy for, just friends. And the kicker. The date on the receipt. A Thursday night I was working late. I asked Lacey about it that night, trying to keep my voice even, casual, like it didn't already feel like my ribs were splintering under my skin. She blinked too much. Laughed too high. Said, Connor and I were just grabbing dinner, you know, as friends. You're being weird. And maybe I was. Maybe I was just being weird. Except I wasn't. A few nights later, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the coffee table. I wasn't the kind of guy who checked her phone. I didn't want to be that guy. But my hand moved before my brain did. The screen lit up. Connor, miss you already. I didn't think. I didn't breathe. I just unlocked the phone, heart slamming against my ribs like a caged thing. Opened the messages. And there it was. A full month's worth of dirty texts. Nasty jokes. Plans for quick meetups. Memories of last night in explicit, unforgivable detail. It wasn't just emotional. Wasn't just flirty. They'd been sleeping together. 4 weeks. I sat there staring at the screen, feeling like someone had cracked my spine in half. When Lacey came out, towel wrapped around her, she smiled at me. Smiled. I asked her, trying to keep my voice steady, you and Connor been having fun behind my back. The way her face changed. I'll never forget it. Like a candle getting blown out. She didn't deny it. She didn't even look sorry. She just said, I didn't mean for it to happen. I remember laughing. This hollow, broken sound that didn't even feel like it came from me. Yeah. I asked. What did you mean to happen, Lacey? She didn't answer. Just pulled the towel tighter around herself, shrinking into the corner like I was the threat. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just picked up her phone, dropped it into the sink full of water, and walked out of the apartment. I didn't take anything. Didn't say goodbye. I just left. But walking away wasn't enough. Not for the kind of fire burning through my chest. Connor had taken something from me. And I was going to take something from him. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my truck, parked a few blocks down, just staring out the windshield, fists clenched so tight my nails left little half-moon scars in my palms. All I could think about was the years I wasted. The loyalty I gave them, both of them, like it was worth anything. I wasn't some saint. I wasn't a perfect boyfriend or a perfect friend. But I would have died for them. And they didn't even hesitate before stabbing me in the gut. By sunrise, my hands were steady. My brain was ice cold. I wasn't gonna scream or punch holes in walls. That's not how you destroy people like Connor. You hit them where it hurts most. Connor had a girlfriend too. Rachel. They'd been together almost as long as Lacey and I had. She wasn't loud or flashy like Lacey. Rachel was the type who made you cookies when you were sick, who remembered your mom's birthday even when you forgot. We were never close, but we got along fine. She trusted me. Hell, she trusted Connor. I figured it wouldn't take much to find out if she knew what was going on. So I sent her a message. Simple. Hey, can we talk? In person? It's important. She replied 2 minutes later. Is everything okay? I told her, not really. We met at a coffee shop later that day. I hadn't showered. I hadn't changed clothes. I probably looked half insane. But Rachel didn't flinch. She just sat down across from me, clutching her latte like it was a shield. I didn't drag it out. I just handed her a printed stack of screenshots. Texts between Lacey and Connor. Time-stamped. Graphic. I watched her face crumble in real time. Watched the hands that baked cookies and knit sweaters for Connor start to shake so bad she almost dropped her cup. She didn't cry, not then. She just stared at the papers, then at me. How long? She whispered. At least a month, I said. Maybe longer. For a second, I thought she was gonna break down right there. But then something hard flickered across her face. Something that looked a lot like mine. She leaned in. What do you want to do? And that's when the idea hit me. It didn't come from a good place. It didn't come from some righteous need for justice. It came from the ugliest, rawest part of me. I want to make them feel exactly how we feel right now, I said. Rachel didn't even blink. She just nodded. The plan wasn't complicated. They thought we were stupid. They thought we were weak. They'd underestimated us so completely, it was almost insulting. Step 1, act normal. I texted Lacey a few, I'm sorry for overreacting, messages. Made up some excuse about stress at work. Said I needed time to cool off, but I wasn't giving up on us. She ate it up immediately, desperate to sweep it all under the rug. Meanwhile, Rachel did the same with Connor. She sent him a teary, I miss you, text. Said she wanted to talk things through. Said she loved him. He replied in under a minute, I love you too. I'm so sorry. Let's fix this. Sickening. But useful. Step 2, set the trap. Rachel invited Connor over to her apartment Saturday night. Wine, movies, forgiveness. The whole pathetic setup he thought he wanted. I texted Lacey to meet me at a bar around the same time. Told her I wanted to talk, to work things out. She replied instantly. Yes please. I love you. When Saturday rolled around, Rachel and I both had our parts to play. But before we went through with it, we met up one more time. In my truck again, parked behind a grocery store. She climbed into the passenger seat, hair pulled back, no makeup, eyes red but fierce. You sure about this? I asked her. She stared straight ahead for a long time before answering. They don't deserve our loyalty, she said finally. I nodded. Started the truck. Drove toward the bar where Lacey was already waiting. Step 3, deliver the blow. I didn't go inside. I didn't even slow down. Instead, Rachel leaned over and snapped a quick photo of me behind the wheel. Then another one of us together, fake smiling, fake laughing, close enough to look intimate. She sent the pictures straight to Connor's phone. Meanwhile, I texted Lacey, sorry, can't make it. Something came up. Then I blocked her number. We drove back to Rachel's apartment. Her hands were shaking again, but not from fear this time. From adrenaline. We both knew what came next. Without saying a word, she led me inside. And yeah, you can figure out the rest. Not because we loved each other. Not even because we wanted each other. Because for one night, we needed to tear down what they built out of our pain. We needed to set fire to the wreckage they left us in. I woke up around 3 in the morning on Rachel's couch, my back stiff, head pounding. She was curled up in the armchair across from me, arms wrapped around her knees, staring at nothing. Neither of us spoke for a long time. The silence wasn't awkward. It was heavy, like the smoke after a fire. Finally, she whispered, they're gonna find out. I nodded. My mouth felt like sandpaper. My body ached in a way that had nothing to do with sleep. Good, I said. Because that was the point, wasn't it? Not just revenge. Not just payback. Understanding. I wanted Connor to feel it. The nausea. The chest pain. The endless, skin-crawling disgust with everything he thought was real. I wanted Lacey to know what it felt like to see someone you love look through you like you're a stranger. Rachel's phone buzzed on the coffee table, lighting up the room with a sickly blue glow. She didn't move to pick it up. I leaned over and glanced at the screen. 12 missed calls. All from Connor. The last text he sent said, "Where are you? I'm at your place. Pick up, please." Another one popped up while we were staring at it. I love you. I'm sorry. Just talk to me. Rachel didn't even flinch. She just leaned back in the chair and closed her eyes. I sat there and watched her breathe. Something in me cracked wide open right then. I realized, it wasn't about Rachel anymore. Wasn't even about Connor or Lacey. It was about me. I didn't want to be the guy who let this define him. I didn't want to drag this poison around for the next 5 years like a damn anchor. So I sat up, rubbed my hands over my face. Said, let's end it. Rachel opened her eyes, confused. Let's make it official, I said. No more half measures. She hesitated, then nodded, slow and sure. So I got up, grabbed a notebook from her kitchen counter, and started writing. It wasn't anything long. Just a few lines. Enough to do the job. When I finished, I folded the page neatly and slipped it into an envelope. Rachel got up too, moving like her bones hurt. She didn't ask me what I wrote. She didn't have to. Sunday morning, I showed up at Connor's front door. Bright and early. No warning. He answered wearing gym shorts and a guilty smile that faltered the second he saw my face. Mike, man, he started, voice hoarse, listen, about everything. I held up the envelope. He shut up immediately, like someone pressed mute on his stupid mouth. This is for you, I said, dead calm. He took it, hands trembling. I didn't wait for him to open it. I turned around and walked off his porch, feeling lighter with every step. Got into my truck. Drove away. I didn't look back. Later, Rachel told me how it went down. Connor tore the envelope open like a madman, desperate for some explanation. Inside was a simple thank you card. One of those cheesy ones you buy in bulk at Walmart, with a stupid cartoon puppy on the front. And inside, in my handwriting, thanks for showing me who you really are. P.S. Rachel says hi. Apparently, he lost his mind after that. Blew up my phone with calls I didn't answer. Showed up at my apartment banging on the door like he was gonna tear it down. I wasn't there. I was halfway to the coast, windows down, music blasting so loud I couldn't hear myself think. For the first time in months, I smiled without forcing it. It didn't take long for Lacey to catch on. I turned my phone back on 2 days later. 67 missed calls. 112 text messages. All from her. The first few were tearful. Please talk to me. I'm sorry. I love you. I made a mistake. Then they got angrier. You're being immature. This isn't fair. After everything we had. I didn't respond to any of them. I didn't even read half the texts. I just scrolled through the notifications, feeling nothing but a dull, distant ache, like pressing on a bruise I didn't care about anymore. Then came the final message. I know what you did. No punctuation. No emojis. Just flat. Cold. Rachel called me an hour later, voice shaking with suppressed laughter. You're not gonna believe this, she said. Lacey showed up at my apartment. Seriously? I asked. Yeah, she said. Banging on the door, screaming about how we're psychopaths and monsters and how she deserves better. I barked out a laugh that felt rusty in my throat. Rachel continued, she kept saying it's different when we did it. That we were calculated. I leaned back in the motel chair, staring at the cracked ceiling. Of course it's different, I said. We were honest about it. Rachel went quiet after that. Not heavy or sad, just tired. We both were. There's a kind of exhaustion you only feel after you burn your whole life to the ground. The next week was a blur of fallout. Mutual friends picked sides. Spoiler alert, most of them didn't pick mine. Apparently, it's easier to forgive the pretty, tear-streaked girl sobbing about mistakes than the guy who looks like he doesn't give a damn anymore. I heard from a buddy that Connor was telling anyone who would listen that I broke the bro code by sleeping with Rachel. The irony of that almost crushed me. I didn't defend myself. I didn't explain. I didn't show receipts. Let them think whatever made them sleep at night. I didn't owe them the truth. One night, about 3 weeks after everything imploded, I ran into Lacey at the grocery store. She spotted me in the cereal aisle, pushing a half-empty cart, wearing sweatpants and a 3-day beard. I almost didn't recognize her. She'd lost weight. Eyes hollow. Hair messy in a way that wasn't cute anymore. She stepped into my path, blocking the cart. Mike, she said, voice small. Can we talk? I stared at her. The girl who used to dance around my kitchen barefoot. Who used to fall asleep against my chest during bad movies. Who used to swear she couldn't live without me. And all I felt was, nothing. No anger. No heartbreak. No regret. Just emptiness. I don't think there's anything left to say, I told her. She flinched like I slapped her. Please, she whispered. I messed up. I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I tilted my head, studying her. For years together. For years I would have fought for her with everything I had if she'd just asked. You knew exactly what you were doing, I said quietly. You just didn't think I'd find out. Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't reach for her. Didn't offer comfort. I just pushed my cart around her and kept walking. She didn't follow. Didn't call after me. Didn't try again. Good. The next morning, I packed up the rest of my apartment. Sold the furniture. Boxed up what little was worth keeping. By noon, my truck was loaded down, engine rumbling under my feet like it was just as ready to leave as I was. Before I pulled out of town, I made one last stop. I dropped off a second thank you card. This one wasn't for Connor. Wasn't for Lacey either. It was for myself. I tucked it into my glove box. A stupid, cheap card with a smiling sun on the front. Inside, it said, "Congratulations on surviving the fire. Now go build something better." It's been almost a year now. I don't live in that town anymore. Hell, I don't even live in that state. I took a job offer 2,000 miles away, packed what little I had left, and started over where nobody knew my name. Nobody looked at me with pity, or judgment, or whispered behind my back about the drama, like it was a TV show they watched for fun. At first, the loneliness was brutal. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and reach across the bed without thinking, expecting to find Lacey's warmth there. I'd sit down at some shitty diner, pull out my phone, and my thumb would hover over her name before I remembered there was nothing left to say. It wasn't grief. It was habit. Grief is for something that died unfairly. Something taken too soon. What we had. It rotted from the inside out long before I found the texts. I just didn't want to smell it yet. Some nights, when it's quiet, when the world goes soft and weird around 2 a.m., I still think about Connor. Not because I miss him. Not because I want him back in my life, but because I genuinely don't understand how someone who sat next to me at my father's funeral, who got drunk with me after I failed my first college exam, who hugged me the day I told him I was in love with Lacey, could be the same guy who smiled in my face while stabbing me in the back. I used to think betrayal looked obvious. Shifty eyes. Guilty faces. Cowardice leaking out of every word. It doesn't. Betrayal looks like your best friend cracking open a beer and asking how your mom's doing. It looks like your girlfriend squeezing your hand under the table at a restaurant she just visited with him last night. It's normal. Ordinary. Camouflaged inside all the trust you were stupid enough to give away. And by the time you realize the truth, the damage is already done. I heard through the grapevine that Lacey tried dating someone new. Didn't last long. Connor, too. Apparently, he started sleeping around like he was trying to fill some black hole he couldn't patch up. Good. Let them chase something they'll never find again. Me? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm thriving. That I'm living my best life or whatever garbage Instagram feeds people. I'm healing. And healing is ugly. It's waking up some mornings feeling free, strong, unbreakable, only to crash the next day under the weight of everything you lost. It's deleting old playlists because you can't stand the songs anymore. It's driving home from work and feeling like your chest might cave in because you saw someone who wore her perfume. But it's also learning how to breathe without thinking about them. How to laugh without bitterness dragging it down. How to trust yourself again. Not other people. Yourself. I met someone a few weeks ago. Not in a bar. Not on an app. Just a chance conversation at a bookstore, both of us reaching for the same old, beat-up copy of East of Eden. Her name's Sam. She's quiet, thoughtful. The kind of person who listens with her whole body, not just her ears. I'm not rushing it. I'm not rushing anything anymore. If there's one thing betrayal taught me, it's that you don't build new things out of desperation. You build slowly, carefully, brick by brick, even when your hands are still raw from the last time you trusted the wrong people. Sometimes, late at night, I still think about that thank you card. The first one. The one I gave Connor. The one with the stupid cartoon puppy and my cracked, spiteful handwriting. It wasn't just a middle finger. It was a funeral notice. I wasn't just thanking him for showing me who he was. I was burying who I used to be too. And standing over the grave of the man who would have let people like that walk all over him, smiling because now, finally, there's no one left to blame but me. And I'm okay with that. More than okay. I'm free.